How's it going, Las Cruces, New Mexico? I am Mr. Ryder coming at you, and we are 4 music teachers here in the district for elementary music, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about the string family. And I'm going to go ahead and give you an introduction to the string family. It is one of our 4 families in the instruments of the orchestra. And so here we have a poster showing many of our string instruments. And first up, we have the violin. It is the smallest and the highest of our string instruments. The violin has a big brother, and the big brother is called the viola, and it's just a little bit bigger and a little bit lower. We then have an instrument that is the cello, and the cello is a string instrument that you have to sit and play. And then we have the biggest and the lowest instrument, which is the double bass. We got some extra string instruments that are not in the instrument of the orchestra, but are just fun string instruments. We have the guitar. And then sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll get to hear or see a harp player. And that's just a brief introduction to the string family. We have some very talented guests here today, and I'm going to pass it off to Miss Ludeman.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Miss Ludeman, and I'm going to show you my violin today. This is the violin, and you can see that there is a bridge. It holds the strings in place. There's a chin rest. Do you see the black part? That's called the fingerboard, and the strings come down, and these are called the F-holes. The sound comes out of there. The violin makes its sound by me pulling my bow across the string. Do you know that song? I bet everybody knows that song. I was playing very smoothly. That smooth style of playing is called legato. Now I will play short sounds on the violin. And now there is another way I can play my violin. With pizzicato, I use my finger to pull the string. Sorry. I also, when I play the violin, I do this thing with my hand. It's kind of a shake. The shake decorates the note. Here is without the shake, and that shake is called vibrato. Here's without. Now I'll do it with vibrato. You see how it decorated the note, made it sound prettier. I'm going to show you also today the cello. The cello is very similar to the violin, but it's a lot bigger. This is called the end pen, and this goes on the ground, and I place the cello between my legs. It also has the bridge that keeps the strings up. Here is the cello. I will play legato very smoothly. Now, do you remember what this is called when I play short? That? Yes, Mr. Ryder, what is that called?
That's called staccato.
You are correct. Let's see who remembers what this is. This style of playing. Yes, Mr. Geyer?
That's called pizzicato.
Good job, it is pizzicato. So the cello is very similar to the violin, like we said, but it's very low. It plays a lot lower. Here's some low notes I didn't get to share with you. Thank you for listening today. I'm going to let Mr. Geyer take over. He has some instruments to show you today.
This is Mr. Geyer here. I have the guitar, which is a little different than Miss Ludeman's instruments. The guitar actually has 6 strings, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about it and then I'll demonstrate. There's a couple of ways we can play the guitar. We can play it the way Ludeman did, 1 note at a time, melodically with the melody, or we can play multiple notes, more than 1 note at one time and play chords. Let me give you an example of that. Here's the guitar playing chords. Now, the cool thing about the guitar is you can also play melody as well. I'm going to break out the electric guitar and play a little bit of that. Melody is 1 note at a time. And that is the guitar. And coming up next, we have Miss Ward, who is going to be doing an awesome demonstration on how to make a really cool instrument.
Hi guys, I'm Miss Ward, and so I want to show you today how you can make your own string instruments. The first one we're going to make is a string bass. And so in order to make this one, what you need is you need a string or a piece of yarn. And so here I have a red string, and you want to cut it about as long as you are tall so that when you stand up, it fits you. You're going to take one end of your string, and I tied it to a little keychain thing, or you could tie it to your shoe, or you could tie it to the bottom of a chair, whatever, it doesn't matter. And so I'm going to take this end and I'm going to step on it. And then I'm going to pull my string up to my head. Now, if I just pluck the string here, you can see it vibrates, and you can kind of hear a sound, but not a very good one because the vibrations are just going everywhere. So what I want to do is I want to hear these vibrations. So I'm going to take the end of this string and I'm just going to kind of put it here next to my ear. I'm not going to stick my finger in my ear. I'm just going to put it right here next to my ear. And then when I pluck it, I can hear those sound vibrations. Now, when I do that, because it's a piece of string, it's really wiggly. Do you see how I can pull it up and relax it? That's how I can get different sounds. Just like Miss Ludeman and Mr. Geyer got different sounds by changing their fingers, you can make different sounds by pulling your string tighter or looser. And once you get that figured out, you can even play along with your favorite song. You can put a song on the radio and jam out all you want. So this is our string guitar, or string bass. The next one I'm going to show you is how to make a guitar, just like Mr. Geyer played. And so in order for this one, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need a rubber band and some kind of box or container. So I have several here to show you. Here is a Kleenex box that I used. And all we're going to do is put the strings on the Kleenex box very carefully. As you can see, the strings, the rubber bands kind of pull the box, so you want to be careful. Now, when I have it on there, I'm going to pluck the strings to get a cool sound. Now, I might want to change my sound. So what should I do to change my sound? I should probably change the box. Should I do something to the box? No, I should probably do something to the strings. So if I want to change the strings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to either pull them tighter or make them go looser. And I can change them in different ways to get different sounds. And if you're really cool, you can even arrange them in a way to make a song. Now, here are some different boxes I found at my house. Here's like a Christmas present box. It's made out of metal. It's like a little tin. Here is a plastic butter dish that we used. What I like about this one is because it's plastic, I can move it. You see how I can change it and I can make it change shapes? And I can make different sounds. This box works really well. Here's another Kleenex box. The only problem though is that when I have the rubber bands on this, it sits flat on the top. And so if the rubber bands are sitting flat, are they going to vibrate and make the sound? Probably not. Look. So it doesn't work. Now, going back to what Mrs. Ludeman had said, Mrs. Ludeman, what did you have on your violin or your cello to lift the strings up so they could vibrate?
I had what's called a bridge.
So we're going to have to build a bridge on this. So I have some pencils or a pen, and so I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to put it underneath the strings. And then when I do that, I can raise up the strings, and now they're not touching the box. So there are some cool instruments that you can do at your house to make music in the string family.
All right, folks. Wow, we just learned a lot about the string family. We learned about the double bass. We got to see Miss Ludeman play the violin and the cello. We got to hear Mr. Geyer jam out on the guitar. And we got to watch Miss Ward making a couple of incredible, fun, cool instruments at home. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Guys, it was awesome working with you. And we'll see you guys maybe in the future. Bye-bye.